Hello, Mike Bass from Talk Bass, from Mike Fred Bass here on YouTube. You also look me up on Facebook, Micah Fredericks, Mikafredericks. I'm talking about there are actually a couple different little ideas and things I have. I usually, the last couple of videos I put up are just basically showing a rundown of some gear, or a bass, or some crap like that. I'm going to show a bass, but I'm also going to give a couple of opinions, and they're just that. It's opinion. Your mileage may vary. You may have a completely different opinion about things. First thing I would talk about, as you see him holding in my hands, is, might come as, I don't know, a shock to some of you guys that really know me, but this is a Carvin Bunny Brunel 5-string bass. I found this bass at a local guitar shop used. They had it for about a year before I picked it up. On Talk Bass, there is a thread that I started about this actual particular bass. And when I first walked in, I saw it sitting there at this local music store and a guitar shop, and I never really gave it much thought. I played Carvins in the past. They were pretty nice basses. I really dug them, but it wasn't what I personally preferred at the time. So, poking around this guitar shop, I picked it up one day and plugged it into an amp. And I got to tell you something, this thing blew my socks off. The neck feels great. It played, even after sitting in a guitar shop forever with some old strings, I played extremely well. Sounded great. Sounded really, 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 really good. So it sat there for about a year, and yeah, it actually had a good price on it at the time. So go back a year later, they still got the bass sitting there. So I finally went up to the guy and made him an offer, and he took my offer, which was even better, much better than what they had it marked at, nonetheless. Let's talk about the bass and I'll get into some other things. I don't know a lot about the specs. I don't even know the vintage or the year of this because I don't know how to date it. There's a serial number that's on the bass. I'm going to do some research and see what it comes up at, if I can find any kind of dating on it. I believe it is an older one because it has the older Wilkinson bridge on it. Carvin stopped using these bridges a long time ago. It's actually a pretty interesting bridge. I didn't like it at first, and I actually bought another bridge to swap this one out, but then once I figured this thing out a little bit, I actually really dig it, and I'm going to leave it on there. Just leave it the way it is. Best of my knowledge, completely stock Carvin electronics. Never changed out of the bass. They look as kind of abused as the basses. The Carvin pickups, I believe it might be the J99s. I don't know, but they are hum canceling. They don't make any noise. An active type pickup on the bass. 2-band Carvin preamp with treble and bass, blend and volume on there. That rounds it out there. Up on the headstock here we have their Carvin labeled tuners, but they're just like the Grover style tuners, sealed closed tuners. Great tuners, real smooth and everything. All the hardware is really rock solid. Wilkinson had an awesome reputation for bridges and everything, and obviously the tuners are made by who they're made by. I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that the body wings are alder. It does not have the typical grain pattern that ash would have. I've owned too many basses with ash and alder, so I kind of get a good idea of what it looks like. So I'm just making a guess based off of some experience. Like I said, I'll update it when I find out more on the bass. I know they use maple for the neck through on it, and as far as I can tell, this is a one-piece maple neck through on this thing. So there you have it. 34-inch scale, but something I will point out on this, if you guys notice, this upper horn is a little longer. This bass balances probably better than any bass I've ever had. This horn comes out just at, if you had to look at this thing, and there's no way I can give you a good perspective on it, but the horn comes out to just the edge of the 12th fret, right about there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. And that little extra half-inch or inch or whatever like that on this upper horn makes for all the difference in the world. I put this thing on, it's extremely comfortable. There is zero, and I mean zero neck dive. If anything, you feel a little bit more on the bridge end or the body end of the bass going this way. Not much, and it's like I said, by far the most comfortable bass I've ever had strapped on. I'm not a big neck through body fan. I like the sound and the kind of feel and everything of a bolt-on. So it was a little bit of a switch for me, but I've owned plenty of neck through body basses in the past, Spectre, Warwick, Federa, and whatnot. Ebony fingerboard on this bass. If you notice, the dots are offset. If you move the B string out of the way, the dots are in the exact position they would be if you're on a 4-string bass. When I gathered years ago, and I've always dug this bass, Bunny Brunel, who's a 4-string player, when he Carvin approached him, or he approached Carvin, or whatever, to make a signature bass, he said put the dots where they would be on a 4-string bass, because that's what I'm used to looking at. We'll just drop the 5th string on top, and that's exactly what they did. So it looks a little bizarre, but it's actually kind of cool too. It doesn't affect me one way or the next where the dots lie on the bass. So anyway, yeah, it's a great bass. I'm just going to play it a little bit and give you an idea what it sounds like. It just sounds like a really nice bass with some active electronics in it. It's the only thing I can really say. Strings are a little beat on it. I did change out the strings and set it up to where I like it, but it's even from top to bottom. Yeah, it's just a great sounding bass. This is completely flat through my amplifier as well too. No booster cut going on anywhere. It just sounds. Yeah, so there you go. It's Carvin Bunny Brunel 5-string bass, man. Who knew? Especially me.